Too little, too late. The Biden White House finally releases a strategy to combat Islamophobia and anti-Arab hate. In the literal twilight of Joe Biden's final days in office, and as he prepares to hand over the power of the presidency back to his successor, Donald Trump, the White House has finally released a strategy to combat Islamophobia and anti-Arab hate. The strategy was released last week on December 12th. And a question you might be asking yourself is, why is this strategy coming now? Likely to check off a box that it was something that the Biden-Harris White House handled while they were in office. But this is too little, too late, and an empty gesture, given the timing of this strategy and the fact that Biden knows that his successor will never implement it. Had this been produced before Biden's lame duck period in office, it could have been taken more seriously. But it arrives too late, and the Muslim American community knows that it rings hollow. Why? First of all, the spike in Islamophobic and anti-hate incidents in the United States have been directly tied to the genocide in Gaza, mainly due to three factors. One, the biased corporate media coverage of the genocide in Gaza. Two, the AIPAC rhetoric and fearmongering used by US elected officials abusing their platforms. And three, directly by what Biden has to say as President of the United States about whose human rights matter, whose lives matter, and whose do not. As we know, and as Biden has stated multiple times as recently as this week, he is a proud Zionist. And he's made his commitment to protecting Israeli life at all costs a priority, while arming and funding the literal genocide of the Palestinian people in Gaza, whose lives he has made clear are collateral and that they matter less. From the corporate media, from these AIPAC elected leaders, from the president himself, the people of the US watch, learn, and internalize what these narratives are and who matters and who doesn't matter, directly from the example that these leaders set. Most notably, this strategy from the White House fails to identify ending the genocide in Gaza as a way to counter Islamophobia and anti-Arab hatred here in the US. Even though this is the main driver in this spike of hate here in this moment, that the US's failing foreign policy is directly contributing to hate crimes and incidents right here domestically in the United States. This strategy comes a literal 15 months after the genocide in Gaza began, and half a year after CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations, released a report in spring of 2023 documenting in detail that 2023 was the worst year of Islamophobic incidents on record in the organization's 30-year history, noting that the spike was attributed to the last 3 months of the year, October, November, and December 2023, after October 7th. I hold no illusions about what Islamophobia and anti-Arab hate will be under the Trump presidency. But Biden has done his best to set a low bar for his successor, and has done little to nothing to institute protections for citizens of the United States who are Muslim and/or Arab, especially over the course of the last 15 months. While our communities in the United States have been in crisis, and this has mattered the most. At the end of the day, Biden has done a lot of damage in the last 15 months regarding the value of both Arab and Muslim life, at a level that we have not seen since George W. Bush and Dick Cheney.